In San Antonio that is dedicated to preserving and sharing that history, not just this month, but all of the time. San Antonio African American Archive and Museum. And you can get involved in an interactive way here. Has something to do with IKEA. We'll talk about that. Deborah Omowale Jarman, the CEO of SACAM, joins us for today's KSAT Q&A. Deborah, thank you for being here. I want to start with first that interactive exhibit. This is Black Resistance at the Lunch Counter. That's the name of this event that's happening at IKEA. What's this all about?
Yes, so starting with the celebration of IKEA's 4th anniversary, and going all the way through March 16th, which was the day the lunch counters were desegregated here in San Antonio. We are partnering with IKEA in the restaurant to have an exhibit about that day. The lunch counters that were desegregated, we will have a special guest, Shura Wyatt, she was one of the students that participated in the sit-in prior to the lunch counters opening. Also, Mr. Chuck Andrews, who is the brother of Mary Lillian Andrews, who was at that time the president of the NAACP Youth Council. Of course, Mayor Mary Dennis from Live Oak, and our own Mayor Ron Nierenberg will be there to kick it all off. February 13th, we'll have drumming and dancing and breakfast, and it doesn't cost a thing.
Yeah, so it's actually inside the IKEA in the restaurant area there. Talk about you mentioned it a little bit. Some of the people who were involved in that resistance in San Antonio. I mean, we're talking about correct me if I'm wrong, but we're talking about the Woolworth lunch counter downtown, right on Houston Street, I believe, is where it was. I mean, it was a significant moment. More than just in San Antonio.
Correct. So it's interesting that we could shop as African Americans. We could shop at those stores. We couldn't try on clothes, but we could certainly shop and spend our money, but we couldn't eat there. Sears was desegregated very quietly. You could go into Sears and eat with no problem. But the other stores in downtown, that was not the case. So on March 16th, 1960, actually the first store that opened that day was the Crest department store, and Woolworth opened shortly afterwards. We are going to have an opportunity here in San Antonio to recognize both of those stores. The Woolworth is a part of the new Alamo Museum. And then at SACAM, we're doing something pretty special with the Crest department store, but you'll have to come back for that.
All right.
So we're excited to be able to share that with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it giving us some context on exactly what because I don't want to assume that people know what we're talking about when we talk about the lunch counter issue in San Antonio.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, SACAM is a great resource for that, going even online to a lot of the records that you all have. And when you think of an archive and museum, somebody might think, oh, this is something I can just go look at documents or look at something hanging on a wall, but SACAM does a lot more than that. And you've got another event happening. This is the Green Book Historic Marker Unveiling Tour. Tell us what that's all about.
Yes. So we have partnered with Texas A&M San Antonio for a number of different opportunities. One, our digital library is housed there, so you can go and look at a lot of our items in our archive. But the students of the Methods of Historical Research did a lot of work with us in uncovering places where Negro motorists could stop in San Antonio during the Jim Crow era in the South. And so we are going to tour a few of those spots on February 22nd. We will have some surprise guests. We have owners of property or the heirs of the owners of the property that allowed Negro motorists to be safe as they were traveling. And as someone who am old enough to remember, we couldn't just stop anywhere in the South when we drove south to visit our grandparents. I thought my dad liked the places that we stopped, and that's why we stopped there all the time. But it was because they were safe places. Well, San Antonio has a large number of those safe spots. You can see them all on our website. Excuse me, Steve.
No, that's okay, Deborah. But the Green Book, when it's called the Green Book Historical Marker, That's because these green books were published to tell people where they could stop, correct?
Absolutely. There were a number of publications, but the most popular is the Green Book, thanks to the movie that really highlighted the importance of having safe spaces as you travel. You don't think about it now, but it was very much a thing then.
All right, now I inadvertently interrupted you. I was going to ask you a question earlier, and I think you were going to bring it up about, is there a map somewhere that if people want to go to all of these places that were designated safe, in these green books? I know there are going to be markers that are up, but if somebody just wants to take a tour of some of these sites, can they do that on your website?
Absolutely. If you go to SACAM.org, and at the top, under the menu, there's a section that says Learn. You click on Learn, and one of the first sub-menu items will be Green Book. And there is a map. And this is, I have to give the Office of Historic Preservation of the City of San Antonio a shout out. It was a joint effort. They are supplying the alternative historic markers. And again, the students from Texas A&M, we are just delighted that we can have all of this rich information to share with everyone in San Antonio, that we have a significant role here in San Antonio in the history of Black people in America, not just San Antonio, but in America.
And that's what I love about SACAM. You all do an event that is specific to San Antonio, the History Harvest, every year. And that always sticks with me when you all ask for oral histories, people to come in and provide photos and documents if they have them, but to step in a booth, if you will, to record their audio, their memories, like yours, of safe places to stop on a road trip. So SACAM is a resource for people to hear from San Antonians about this history.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that is what we love at SACAM. It's energizing to be able to collect these stories. And you can, again, go to our website. You don't have to wait for History Harvest. We are always collecting stories. We just received the collection from Mr. and Mrs. G's Soul Food. They've been around over 20 years. And just to be able to talk to Mr. G's daughter and get that information about Mr. and Mrs. G's was amazing. We have Mario Sala's collection and T.C. Calvert. So I have to say, you don't have to be someone that you would think is famous. Your story matters. It helps us put the pieces together of our total story here in San Antonio. So don't think you have to be famous. We want everyone's story.
Deborah, I loved how you put that. Your story matters. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us about some of the special events that are going on during Black History Month.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
All right, you as well. We'll be right back.
Rushing to file your taxes early? Well, according to the IRS, you might want to wait. That's because of all those state relief checks doled out in 2022. Last year, a total of 18 states handed out some sort of rebate. And as Ivan Rodriguez reports, the IRS isn't quite sure how to tax those on a federal level yet.
If you live in a state that issued some sort of rebate last year, experts say you should hold off on rushing to file your taxes. That's because the IRS is still scratching their heads over how to tax them. While the checks handed out by states likely won't be taxed at the state level, they may be subject to income tax at the federal level.
That the IRS is going state by state and looking at the details of these proposals or these, the details of these rebate checks and deciding whether they're taxable. And it's coming late in the process. That is the fundamental problem here.
At least 18 states issued a special payment of some kind in 2022. Jared Walczak from the Tax Foundation says they were for a variety of reasons.
Sometimes it's been about inflation. Sometimes it's just the money. In a couple of states, it's been targeted, maybe for, say, individuals with children.
But what should you do if you already filed and you received one of those checks?
The standard way to approach this is an amended return, but don't do it yet because you want to wait to know what the IRS tells you to do. You don't want to do this 3 times.
With the ever-changing tax code, Walczak says there's another thing to look out for this year.
Be aware of the way that this post-pandemic era has changed how you live and work. Generally speaking, states can tax you where you live and where you earn income. This is the downside, the trade-off with the flexibility a lot of people have with remote work or flexible work arrangements, that they may owe taxes to multiple states.
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
By the way, you may have noticed from that map, Texas was not one of the states that gave those rebate checks.
Yes. All right, look outside. I'm loving this view this week. It's so pretty over there, and I'm also noticing it's a little bit later.
We're gaining daylight
Which I'm
now.
all for.
Yes.
Later, she likes.
Loves it. 6:18 is actually the sunset now, so we're noticing those extended daylight is what I should say. I don't like saying longer days because the day is always, 24 hours. If you want to get technical. Anyway, 63 degrees right now. Temperature's cooling off pretty quickly. By midnight, we're at 46. And tomorrow morning, have long sleeves or a light sweatshirt right near 40 degrees to start the day. I've got some updated information regarding our percent of normal precipitation. We're going to get into those numbers when the wind picks up, along with some cold fronts to talk about. See you in a little bit.
All right, let's talk about the forecast. We've seen some good rain, some warm weather, some cooler weather. That's what we're doing this last week. We're just rolling all the seasons in there.
It's just kind of winter in South Texas.
Yes, it is. A little bit of everything. Short sleeves one day with a little bit of humidity, then you want a jacket and even an umbrella. I like the necessity of the umbrella. That's the nice thing here. And let's get right to it. Take a look at the latest numbers. February, of course, off to a pretty good start rain-wise, but we've got a big deficit to make up over the past year, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But so far, measured at the airport officially, our official climate reporting site, 1.17 inches. Since February 1st, that's pretty good. Now, year to date, we've had 1.86, and that's 0.6 of an inch below average. So we can put this into perspective over the past 365 days. We've had less than half of our normal precipitation, 45% to be exact, at the international airport in town. Get up to Bulverde, about 51% of the normal rainfall. And Pearsall, actually, nearly 70% of the normal precipitation over the past 365 days. Another way to look at it is in terms of the deficit. This is in inches. Over the past year, just calendar date, 24 inches below average. That's a pretty big deficit. So obviously we still have a lot of ground to make up. And I showed you the drought monitor earlier at 6 o'clock. And unfortunately, it's still not good, especially around northern Bexar County, well, all of San Antonio and up into Bandera, Kendall, Medina, Kerr, and even Comal counties. We'll have an update to the drought monitor tomorrow. I'll share that with you, but it's not going to take into account all of the recent rainfall we got. Next week's will, however. All right, upper level pattern shows another disturbance dropping in by Friday morning. That's going to be a dry disturbance. No shot at rain with this. Maybe some high clouds, and that's about it. Just windy and cool with this disturbance. It's going to give us a reinforcing shot of cool air and pick up the winds for Friday. Then our focus will shift to the west coast, another upper level low dropping in. And depending on where exactly that sets up, it could enhance our rain chances even more. Right now we have it at 40%, so some scattered showers and storms next Monday night into early Tuesday morning. But of course, a lot of it depends on the exact placement of this low. We'll monitor the trends, of course, and keep you updated. Cross your fingers that this drops farther south. That puts us in the sweet spot for the upper level energy and in turn, the rain-making energy. So not even a chance of a sprinkle. Thursday through Sunday, really a lot of sunshine. By Monday, a 30% chance. That's mainly just a little bit in the afternoon and fairly light. It's Monday night, early Tuesday morning around sunrise and even morning commute. That's when we have that 40% chance. All right, let's talk temperatures. 66, our high temperature today. That's exactly average. That little bit of sunshine went a long way temperature-wise. And by the way, at the airport, we had 0.54 inches of rain from this entire event. Right now, we're at 63, dew point of 35, so dry air is in place. And get used to that. We're not going to see that return flow off the Gulf of Mexico to give us that mugginess anytime soon. We did a few days ago, but now the wind has shifted behind last night's cold front. 57 Pleasanton, 56 Kerrville right now. Rio Medina at 62, 58 in Canyon Lake. Temperatures falling off pretty quickly now that the sun is setting. And tomorrow morning, get ready for upper 30s for most of us. Castroville, Divine 37, even Pleasanton, Poteet 39. Downtown will be about 40 degrees, but outlying areas in the mid to upper 30s. By the afternoon, total sunshine and making it up to 70. And by the way, we will have a little bit of fog tomorrow morning. I don't think it's going to be problematic, but for a few hours around sunrise, just some areas of fog, something to keep in the back of your mind. Otherwise, very sunny. And notice the high temperature trend. Can you tell there's a cold front Thursday night? We go from 70 on Thursday down to 58 for the high on Friday. And actually highs right near 60 all the way through the weekend, and even a light freeze Saturday morning.
Okay, thank you, Adam.
Do you see the hearts on Valentine's Day?
I remembered them now.
There.
Adam Caskey's very romantic.
Hubba, hubba.
Hubba, hubba.
He just blew that.
In the buzz today, it looks like Americans are willing to spend some more money to show their Valentine how much they love them. The National Retail Federation says we'll spend nearly $26 billion on Valentine's Day. On average, most people said they will spend about $192.
Can you really put a price on love?
I'm not spending that much.
Apparently you can. $192, the average. By the way, that's up from $175 last year. The increase mostly due to people buying gifts for not just their significant others, but their pets, their friends, their coworkers. As for gifts, no surprise, the top Valentine's gift is expected to be candy, followed by greeting cards, flowers, an evening out, and jewelry.
This is a gift.
I know.
This right here is
just
a
getting
gift.
to work with you is a gift enough for me, Myra.
Oh, Caskey's moaning. If you're an avid Googler, Microsoft's search engine Bing may not even be on your radar, but it's still not only out there, but Microsoft is now revamping it with the power of artificial intelligence. The tech giant says it plans to invest billions in OpenAI. That's the company that's behind ChatGPT.
Yeah, they believe the update will allow Bing to provide a list of search results as well as answer questions, chat with users, and even generate content to respond to queries. The updated Bing could be made available for the public as early as today, but only a small group of users will actually have unlimited access. Millions more will get it in the coming weeks.
February is Boy Scout Month, but we're doubling down on February 8th. It's National Boy Scout Month and Day, a tribute to the youth organization that has helped shape the lives of millions of American kids.
On this date in 1910, Chicago newspaper publisher William D. Boyce filed incorporation papers for the Boy Scouts of America. It said the previous year he got lost in London on a foggy day and a member of the British Boy Scouts helped him.
Oh.
That inspired Boyce to create the Boy Scouts of America. We'll be right back.
All right, tomorrow morning, a little foggy, just some fog to start the day. Near 40 early, but some outlying areas in the mid to upper 30s. But by noon, we're already sunny and 63. The afternoon, sunny and 70, and a light southwesterly wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's going to change, though. Friday, gusty, at times closer to 30.
Thanks for watching.
See you at 10.